In this chapter, you will learn how heat is transferred. We call transfer process. Heat can be transferred by the following methods. In solids, heat can be transferred by conduction. In fluid, 流體, which means liquid or gas, heat can be transferred by means of convection. In gas or in vacuum, 真空, heat can be transferred by means of radiation. Let's first look at how heat is transferred by conduction, 傳導. Consider the experiment. A lump of wax, 蠟, is adhered 黐住 on one end of a metal rod. When the other end of the metal rod is heated by a Bunsen flame, the wax will melt after some time. Can you explain why? Let's see how this happens. In a solid, atoms, molecules, or particles are closely packed. Therefore, the particle can only vibrating to and fro. When one end is being heated, the particles at the hotter end will absorb energy and vibrate more violently. These particles will hit or collide or bombard the neighboring particles and transfer energy to them. And this kind of collision and energy transfer will continue from the hotter end to the cooler end. And eventually, energy is transferred from the hotter part to the cooler part in a fixed direction. When the wax get enough energy, the temperature becomes hot, and eventually the wax will melt. And the kind of heat transfer through the above process is called conduction. As a conclusion, conduction is a means of heat transfer due to the collision of particles and energy transfer from the hotter particle to the cooler particle. Conductor of heat can be classified into two types. The first is good conductor of heat. That means it can transfer heat by conduction at a highest rate. Another type is bad conductor of heat, which means that it can not transfer heat in a faster rate. In fact, it is an insulator. 絕緣體 is an insulator of heat. Examples of good conductor of heat are metals. For example, iron, copper. Examples of bad conductor of heat are wood, plastic, glass, air, wool. Example 1. Why we use metal pot for cooking? The reason is that metal pot is a good conductor of heat. Therefore, it transfers heat at a greater rate. Example 2. Why we use expanded polystyrene for making lunchbox? The reasons are that first, polystyrene is a poor conductor of heat. Therefore, the rate of heat loss to the surrounding is minimized. Next, expanded polystyrene has lots of air bubbles inside. Since air is a poor conductor of heat, therefore it acts as a very good insulator of heat to prevent heat loss from the food to the surrounding. Notice that bad conductor of heat is the same as poor conductor of heat, which is the same as good insulator of heat. Example 3. Why a double glazed window 雙層玻璃 helps to reduce heat transfer by conduction. For a double glazed windows, both ends are made of glass plates. There is a thin layer of air trapped inside the glass plates. Since air is a poor conductor of heat, or we say air is a good insulator of heat. Therefore, air reduces the heat transfer from the hot region to the cool region through conduction. Example 4. In a computer, heatsinks are installed above the CPU. What kind of material, copper or wood, do you think heatsinks are made of? When a computer is on, lots of heat are generated, and the heatsink near the CPU will be at very high temperature. the main task of the heat sink is to remove the heat to the surrounding. Therefore, we should use copper to make heat sink, because copper is a good conductor of heat. Therefore, it will help to conduct heat to the surrounding at a faster rate.